played those songs. That's why we don't want to do that. It's the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Class X Radio.
We're live.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve. If there's Christmas Eve, can we have Thanksgiving Eve? I say yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I'm going to get your weekend off to a great start. I want to tell you something. Here's the way I look at these days, like Wednesday before Thanksgiving, every Friday. If your week sucked, it's over. At least a pause. You know, we'll pick it back up Monday where your life will start sucking again. And if you've had a great week, well, then you celebrate. So that's the way we got to look at these things, right? Of course. So we're going to get you rolling this morning. And not only will we play great music as always, we're going to cover the news. And we'll cover you know what? It's called standards. The way I call it standards. We're going to have your Les Nessman turkey drop. We're going to have some SNL. That's Saturday Night Live, nothing kinky. SNL Thanksgiving skits of Jake and Vina.
S&M.
Not an S&M.
Also, how do you know? So the other thing is that we're going to do is we're going to talk or discuss with you, or you're just going to listen to what we have to say, about, okay, tonight's the biggest party night of the year. We have turkey. What do you do on Thanksgiving? We got my wild turkey hunt tomorrow morning. Then, are you an idiot that goes out there and buys stuff on... You know what? If it's called Black Friday, and I'm not talking about the racial sense, okay? I'm talking about if it's called Black Friday, black meaning this is a dark, terrible day, it must be bad, right? No, people still go shop. So you got Black Friday, and then we have the weekend, and we're going to cover it all. And also, I have a major announcement. Sir William Wallace Woods and I have decided... the hell with the newsletter Thursday and Friday. You're going to be all fat up on turkey. I'm not going to be on the radio for 2 days. So we figured, you know what? You don't care what's going on in the world. And we'll be back on Saturday to try to help save America. So that's the game plan today. I got a lot to report on my day yesterday, which was, just non-stop from beginning to end. Funny story. I got permission from my clients to tell you this. Funny story last night. I had to drive down to Pendleton County and sign up a new case, and hilarious story. But enough about what we're going to do. Garrett, do you have any preliminary comments that you would like to make to the nation? You have my permission to do so at this moment.
Absolutely not. Except my Bearcats balled out last night, dog.
They did?
Catch that game?
No, I did not. What happened?
I was there. Good 19-point win. Career high points for Kashmir Wright.
He goes to Notre Dame games. He goes to Bengal games. He goes to UC games. This guy. Now, you're going to be gone for 2 weeks? You're going to be gone 2 weeks?
No, that's Jake.
That's Jake.
Jake's gone for 2 weeks.
Jake's going to London.
Where the hell's he going?
London.
Oh, my
He's
God.
not even in here to talk about it.
Slacker. Well, we're going to get a full report from Jake then later in the show why he's going to London. Is he an undercover CIA agent? James Bond-like, How about you, Denise? Do you have anything to report besides traffic? We don't want to hear traffic yet. We don't want to put people in a bad mood. Do you have anything you'd like to share with the nation?
With the nation?
With the nation.
No, not
Alright.
really. I mean, you know what? I'm looking forward to having 4 days off. I bet William is excited that he doesn't have to stay up all night and write your newsletter.
You're not kidding. He's happy.
You
Help
better
you
write
write it, I
that
guess.
newsletter. How am I supposed to get my news in the morning?
That is a
the
good
dog
point.
is not here.
Hey, William. You're up tomorrow at 4 a.m., pal.
Email it anyway. Email it to Garrett.
Get
He
the
wants
clips
it.
ready and stuff, too.
Getting
When I
pressure.
meet them, but just...
Hey, dog, IU won last night.
Getting pressure on William there. IU won?
82-72. Georgetown.
IU.
You know what? The only reason why I go a little light on him on IU is because of his lovely wife, Angie. If it wasn't for Angie, I would really, really toast the Hoosiers.
No, I'd like to see IU win over UK.
Actually, I take that back.
But anybody over.
I am not kidding. The business is flying in the door from Indiana, so I take that back. Go Hoosiers!
Oh, there you go. Oh, boy,
He
that
doesn't
changes
like you.
mine.
Go Wildcats!
He doesn't really like you, Indiana.
Go Bearcats! Go Buckeyes! See, I'll make sure I'm an equal opportunity
You're
suck
gonna
up.
cover it all.
Go Red Hawks! Go Red Hawks, man!
You better start with the high
Equal
schools,
opportunity.
too.
Have I told you how much I love Colerain and Moeller? And X?
And
Elder?
And Elder.
Lakota?
Lakota East, Lakota West.
I not only like Lakota East and West, I like North and South. Do you have a traffic report? Because we're going to get serious after a minute.
We're gonna get serious? Do we need to? Because
Start
it's
getting
like
serious
it's
now.
Thanksgiving Eve. Do we really need to?
Well, let me tell you.
there's-
Let me just say right now,
Okay.
we have to get serious because there is a significant divorce that's going to happen. Danica Patrick is kicking her man to the curb. And this is serious
She
stuff that
calling
we
you?
got to address in pop culture.
Oh, I was gonna say.
The
I thought maybe
Hillbilly
she was calling
Report.
you. Okay, Queen City at Sunset, accident there. Nothing.
Jared, you missed that
See,
one.
I-
Thank you.
I'm sure
Short
that
and sweet.
hillbilly will have in her report.
There you
Oh,
go.
listen to you.
You know what
he knows
happens?
you listening,
Do
right?
you know what-
Lacey?
Do you know what happens? You know, the guy stays loyal to her. Her husband was probably there when she was racing go-karts.
I think 7 years ago they.
And then she hits the big time, starts doing these television commercials, making all this money, doing these
Go
risque
Daddy
Go
spreads.
Daddy.
Go Daddy. And the next thing you know, he's on the curb.
I think he's like a psychologist.
It's wrong.
Or something I read.
He's going to need a bit of that psychology.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Let's do real quick today in history. Oh, wait a minute. We got to do Sophocles. Those in the Bulldog Nation, their little ancient history
Who?
challenge. Sophocles was the great Greek poet
Oh, that's right.
and playwright.
I love him.
What you cannot this is a good piece of advice. What you cannot enforce, do not command. Very good. What you cannot enforce, do not command. Today in history, 1791, General Napoleon Bonaparte was appointed to commander of the French armies. Who cares? Tweety Bird from Tweety Pie debuted.
I taught him.
How you like
to play
that?
cat.
Jack Benny and Richard Nixon played a duet on the piano. What? Are you kidding me? That's
They
Nixon
were
and
horrible.
Benny. They sucked. 1967, Vietnam General Westmoreland told reporters, "Enemy is losing." Yeah, right. That didn't happen, did it?
No.
Dallas, Who Shot JR episode, 83 million viewers in 1980. Crazy. And here we got a little Dallas for you. Dun, 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 dun. I used to watch that show every night.
I
Friday
did
night.
too.
For Linda Gray.
Olivia Newton-John's physical goes #1 and stays there for 10 weeks. I was in love with Olivia Newton-John.
I think everybody was.
I
back
think
then.
if this
I
was
like
somebody
the cute
It's
Sandy.
physical.
I like the cute Sandy. Not that skanky looking Sandy.
She still was cute.
1987,
I
Demi
could see
Moore.
Denise rocking out to this.
Yeah,
song
yeah, her
in
little,
the 80s.
yeah, her little high socks, those like socks or whatever they are.
Yeah, like
wool
all
socks.
sorts of like
yeah,
pastel
spandex,
colors, like
spandex,
yeah.
spandex.
That was you today.
That would be
80s.
me.
We just described you.
Absolutely.
80s.
In the
Nin-
80s.
1987, Demi Moore married Bruce Willis. How do you like that? Demi and Bruce. She's heartbroken now. She's heartbroken. Yippee ki
Great line from
All
the
right.
movie.
All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to keep this rocking. We're going to have famous birthdays, pop culture, Danica Patrick. And this is for Bulldog Nation member Ryan, because you know what I named it, please. If you get up early in the morning to listen to our show and you text a song or an idea for a request, this is AC/DC from the Bulldog collection, Who Made Who. I'm going to make all these guys in this room famous one day on Classic, like Willie made me. Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Was a great start to our show. Out of the gates. Is there anything going on in traffic, Denise?
Well, we had the one accident that we're dealing with. Looks like we have another one. Yes, Waynesville. And in Waynesville, they have a road closed here. It's Harveysburg Road is closed north of Levacy Road. I've never heard of that, but that is due to an accident. So again, Waynesville, Harveysburg Road north of Levacy Road. So watch for that, and then you have to avoid that, I guess, completely. Queen City at Sunset is another accident there.
All right, and we're all Snackville. You know, we sent Denise on a snack run last night. We said, we're tired of running out of snacks. That is the executive producer of the Bulldog Nation radio show. Your #1 responsibility is to keep us fed and liquefied.
If it keeps you happy, I'll bring all the Snickers you need. There's 3 big bags in there,
Can you imagine if we did cuts like
just to keep
the
you
things that
happy.
that says whatever? I
Whatever
mean, gosh,
it takes to keep you happy.
she gives us a lot of material, doesn't she?
Wait.
Yeah, she had a perfect one the other day. I forget what it was, though.
Yeah, that's so perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, American jury, let me just tell you the state of the nation today. As Barack Obama is about ready to be sworn in for his second term, first off, federal workers have told Congress, hey, leave us out of the federal budget deficit deal. In other words, don't cut us. There's a this is sad. This isn't funny. This is sad. Record number of Americans will use food stamps for Thanksgiving. Food Pantry sees a 400% increase in demand. I mean, holy cow! But you know what? We're just gonna all watch. We're just gonna all watch football together, and it'll all be all right. That's the way I
We're
look
gonna
at
have to
it.
shoot that thing. So it's
Is anybody going to a hot party tonight? Anybody?
I'm not going to a hot party, but a bar
A
maybe.
big you are?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm a married man. I'm gonna be home behaving myself.
A 40 and over bar?
I'm not going wherever you're going, that's for sure. Is there
All
such
right.
a thing?
I don't think you're
Here-
Old folks bar?
Here's our famous birthdays today. First, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh, she is so hot.
Really? Well, here she is singing with Jimmy Fallon.
Her classic. Call me maybe.
She's hot.
She does a movie with Al City too. A song with Al City.
Yeah, she does.
I love that Al City song.
Call me maybe.
I don't even know who the hell she is.
Is that
Isn't
Denise's
she
theme
just a
song?
little girl?
She's 27.
A little girl, like we said. Isn't it amazing, Denise?
Jared, is that
when you
Denise?
think back,
That's
remember when you're like
actually 4 years
21
old,
and you
maybe.
think, now I think of 27, I think little girl.
Well, see, now I have my
Enough of
second,
that.
I just had my second kid at
Let's talk
27,
about some
so.
important people who has a birthday today. Ken Griffey Jr. is
Yes.
43, baby.
Griffey was my idol growing up.
I remember, I thought when Griffey came to the Reds, like we would win 6 World Series.
We didn't have the team around him.
Nah. Troy Aikman. I want to tell you about, I think Troy Aikman is kind of, maybe he's lightened up a little bit. He's kind of anal, but he was a hell of a quarterback.
A little bit of a knob.
Troy Aikman, I think, was the all-time, not like Montana, who was the greatest quarterback of all time. Aikman, though, was the prototypical, perfect pocket passer. That's what I think. Goldie Hawn is 67. She's funny. You say that Ellen DeGeneres is the only woman that's funny. I think Goldie Hawn's funny.
She is. She's probably a little too old for you, though, isn't she? Well, no,
Harold Ramis.
What is
Isn't Harold Ramis the?
Gee.
Isn't Harold Ramis a porn actor?
I didn't even know
No.
people lived to 67.
Who's Harold Ramis?
He was in
I've-
Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, duh.
Oh.
Sorry, Harold. I didn't mean
Wait,
to.
is that the black guy in
No,
Ghostbusters?
he's the Jewish guy in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
68. Marlo Thomas, 75. That girl. Of course, you know what? Jake was like 21 years old, so he doesn't even know who that girl is. Stan Musial is 92.
Cardinals, big slugger from back in the
And
day.
Voltaire,
Way back.
the Frenchman, baby. Voltaire. You know what he did in all his life? Wrote stuff and hung out with kings.
You gotta be a pretty big badass to have the one name.
You're right.
You know?
Bulldog. Garrett.
Garrett. Right.
Denise.
Cher.
Denise Johnson.
Wiz.
She's not-
Jake. See, we're all going to be big
We all
time.
have one name.
San-
Actually, it's Blondie, isn't it? And what's yours? He's Bulldog, Blondie. What?
Garrett.
We're sad to report, we got to shift gears here for a minute. Very sad to report, Marine Lance Corporal Dale W. Means, 23, of Jordan, Minnesota, died November 18th while conducting combat operations in Helmand Province, Afghanistan. And by the way, I just want to go ahead right now, and I want to thank, on Thanksgiving, because we're grateful for lots of things. I mean it. You know I mean it. You know, I do this every day on our show where we announce this, but it's sincere as hell that I am very grateful for all of you that have served our country in the past and are now veterans. As you know, I got my ass kicked by a cop in an MMA fight to raise money for the Americans, disabled Americans. I also want you to know that anybody who is serving today in the armed forces, enjoy that military Thanksgiving dinner, and I hope you get to Skype with your parents back home. All of you that have servicemen and women serving abroad or stateside in the tri-state, I have no idea what you must go through, especially on days like Thanksgiving. My brother, when he served, I remember my dad getting very emotional on Derby Day when he called. So God bless all of you. So there we have it. Oh, by the way,
We've got one in the room with us too.
yeah, we do. Big Zim, baby. Zim was a badass, but he He didn't exist. He was one of those guys that flew missions that didn't
Oh,
exist,
yeah.
baby. Bombed the hell out of Laos, and Nixon said, "What? What? Laos? Who? What? Where's Laos? Well, I don't even know where Laos is." Meanwhile, they're bombing the hell out of them.
It was flying covert over the South Pacific.
We were lost.
Oh my
We're lost
God.
boys.
Well, how long is our song?
Is Derby dead? Oh, yeah, I gotta get ready.
I'll tell you right now, this guy's ADHD. I'm gonna steal. Wait, can't you buy
Why you think
ADHD
I-
medicine on the street, black market?
Oh, if you
Don't they
give
sell
me
those
some,
pills?
I'd
Street
love it.
Adderall, Adderall. I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy some Adderall on the street. Hey, if you're a member of Bulldog Nation, you got some Adderall you want to sell for street value, I need to get some for my man Garrett here.
I might have some left over from when I took it in high school.
For-
Yeah, I don't think it'd be
Took the
good.
Ritalin.
From way
For-
back
That's
then.
Ritalin.
Forecast, AM clouds, today, Thursday sunny, Friday a few showers. Facebook song is George Harrison, What Is Life? How do you top that, baby? All right, how do you top that? I want to tell everybody too, when we come back, we're going to have Jack Wagons, we're going to have oracles, we're going to keep having some fun, and guess what? Today, right now, we're going to play, because you know what? You shouldn't get stoned. You should go through Thanksgiving stone-free. That's what Jimi Hendrix said when he was stoned on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. All right, Denise, what do we have in traffic?
Well, we had the road closure due to an accident. That's still out there. That's in Waynesville. Now that is closed Harveysburg Road just north of Levacy Road. So that is again closed due to an accident. So you want to avoid going that direction. Also an accident on Queen City at Sunset. Other than that, looks like it's looking pretty good. Now tonight will be a nightmare. So if everyone can head home early or get out of work earlier, maybe they're not going at all. I don't know.
Wow, wow, wow.
The worst travel night. You watch and see. It's bad.
Do any of you guys travel on Thanksgiving? I have never had to travel on Thanksgiving. I'm a homebody. My wife has, and my wife said it was hell. She was in college. You know, she traveled back and forth, and she said it sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well,
All right.
everybody has. You have one night
Right.
to get where you need to go.
We're going to jackwagon people up now. Senator Patrick Leahy from Vermont proposing amendments to bill up for a vote next week that would allow 22 federal agencies to access your email, Facebook, and Twitter messages without a warrant. I'm telling you right now, Obama and the Democrats want to take, and you know what's so funny? They act like they're for the people. They're for the people. Communists is what they are. I'm with Adam West. They're Alan West. They're communists.
Adam West.
This is too funny. Massachusetts Highway Safety Director Sheila Burgess. Now, far be it from me to comment about somebody's driving record. Mine sucks, all right? But she is the Highway Safety Director. It would be malpractice for a governor to appoint me the Highway Safety Director. You know what her driving record is? 4 speeding violations, 7 accidents, and 2 failures to stop for a police officer. Jack wagging her up. My goodness. Hostess is planning to give management a 75% bonus of their annual salary. This is why the Jack Wagons, like Bain Capital, gives the David Axelrod of the world fodder for it. This is the kind of thing they do that opens themselves up to being Jack Wagons. Come on, man. You're laying off 18,000 people and you're going to give yourself basically 100% bonus?
Really.
And we got a Jack Wagon up Obama. It's been a while. His supporter survey that asks supporters to identify their constituency group offers 22 categories, but not one for whites or men.
Jeez.
We're done, folks. I had a great conversation last night with
It
Willie.
don't matter.
Oh my God, this is hilarious. Okay, so Willie and I talked last night, and he tells me that he's watching C-SPAN and Messina, the guy that ran the campaign of Barack Obama, and he said, we knew we were going to win 2 weeks out. And Willie was telling me all he said about the get out message, the registration drives, getting people to the polls over a course of 35 days. I mean, he just goes through this whole litany of things, and like it was doomed. And he said how he got off the phone with Romney, because he had Romney on election morning. He talked 2 minutes for Romney off the air. Romney said, oh, we're winning in Florida, we're winning in Virginia, we might win Wisconsin, da-da-da-da. I mean, Romney, he just got lied to by his pollsters. I mean, they're like in la-la land, okay? So anyway, we're talking, and this is the God's honest truth. And I want everybody to know that this is just a reality. And it's kind of funny. It really is funny. Who would ever think that the white male is now, we used to run this country, we are the minority now. And we're going to stay there forever. And Willie and I were talking, and we were joking around. We said, you know what? Other minority groups survived in America. We can too. So the white male, what we need to do, folks, is this. all you white men out there, we keep our head down, stay out of trouble, work hard, make money, take care of our own, and to hell with everybody else, just like that's the way it works, right? We just look out for ourselves and to hell with everybody else. Bulldog Nation, the last stand for the white male. And by the way, Bulldog Nation, we like all ethnic groups and all women. But right now, the people that need the most love is the white male.
We're in the minority.
We're in the minority. Can't believe it. Oh my God. Hey, and just for clarification, okay, I hate the Ku Klux Klan. They're full of hate. I am going to lead the white male in a national organization of peace, love, and hard work. We're not going to hate anybody. We're just going to mind our own business like a good minority group, and it'll all be okay. Oracle status. This guy named Jack Taylor of Grinnell University, Division III, 138 points as they smoked Faith Baptist Bible 179 to 104. We got an interview from ESPN magazine. I mean, it was Faith Bible Baptist, but who cares? 138 points. I shot a lot.
Yeah. 138 points.
138 points. That is messed up. Rode the wave.
Unbelievable. He shot it 108 times.
Jeez, oh Pete.
35 minutes of game time.
I like this. We're going to Oracle Rancho Cordova, California City Council. They voted Monday to allow businesses to install electric fences to zap copper thieves.
Good.
Oh my God.
How does that go?
Get this, Terry Elementary School in Little Rock, Arkansas, they're going to get Oracle status. Under fire from atheist groups for wanting to take students to a local church to see a performance of a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh,
Is there anything sacred? Jeez, old Pete.
Let's give jackwagon to that atheist group.
Yes. And you know what? I just want everybody to know, I don't mind being a minority. You know, this is interesting. All the other minority groups used to go.
Like
They used to they used to always cry. I'm a minority. You know, the women groups, the gay groups, the black groups, the Hispanic groups. White men minority group. We're just gonna be cool dudes. Yeah. We ain't gonna whine. We're not gonna bitch. We're not gonna complain. I'm not kidding. I think we might have just started a movement right here this morning on Class X Radio.
Garrett, let's give
the head of the white minority
let's
group.
Give
Hey! The White Male Music Awards.
Yes.
The White Male Comedy Awards. The White Male
WMT White Wet
and White What? Who?
Wet T-shirt award?
Entertainment Television.
That's right. We're gonna have all that. We come back. We'll have some fun Thanksgiving facts for you as we keep rolling on to the meat of the show. This show's rocking though. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, the white male. We might be a minority. This is a Bulldog on Class X Radio. All right, Denise, why don't you update Bulldog Nation members and Class X Radio as they drive through the tri-state? I would bet traffic's going to be light today because a lot of people are already checking out.
It'll be light today. It'll be tonight that'll be the problem. Right now, we still have the accident that in Waynesville that has the road closed. No, that's Harveysburg Road and Levacy Road. Again, that's just north of Levacy Road, so watch for that. They cleared the accident at Queen City and Sunset, but there's a new accident in Hamilton, starting at Liberty and Reading, so you need to watch at that intersection there. But other than that, still pretty light out there and no other reported problems.
Liberty and Reading, you say,
Liberty and Reading, yeah, that's pretty close.
Liberty and Reading. All right, we have some major announcements today that I think is very, very important. And Jake, first off, get your microphone here, buddy. Jake's going to be gone. One of our board operators, and he gets all our news clips for us, is going to be going to London. Are you going to become part of, are you going over there as a representative of the Central Intelligence Agency of this country?
I can't
you cannot?
I can't tell you.
Or are you going to be an M1? Or?
Those are classified information.
All right.
I can tell you I am
I
going
think
over
he's going
to.
on a poster search.
Yeah, I'm going on a poster hunt.
For 2 weeks. Well, we expect some good posters on return.
Okay.
Now, Jake, when we order these posters, we hang icons up in here.
Right.
We know it's very. Oh, by the way, we got to get Al Pacino.
Okay.
My favorite actor of all time. We got to get Al Pacino. I mean, we got to get Al Pacino. If you can get the movie poster, Justice for All, I like that one. Al Pacino.
Okay.
Now, show the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury today. Let's have a revealing of who is going up on these hallowed walls in this studio.
Well,
today.
We got two today.
Oh my God, guys! Man,
This one.
Yeah, go over there behind them.
My gosh!
White
Oh my gosh!
But you know what?
Sexy.
I have to.
Next to Farrah Fawcett's poster, the best poster of all time, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, we give you a young, smoking hot cave woman Raquel Welch
Those are
poster.
huge
That's a-
mountains in the background there. That's
Huge mountains in the
Hang Raquel in a sacred place.
She's going right next to Farrah.
All
right here.
right over the Class
here.
X poster.
All
I have
right.
to admit that's that poster though is
You got a crush on Raquel?
no, but if I was
Hey,
a
we
guy,
put up with
I
your
could
Matthew
totally see
McConaughey.
it.
Yeah, we put up that
Wait,
obnoxious big
can we
poster.
compare? Can we compare the size 4x6 hand size to almost life size Raquel?
Hey, you got your poster.
Yeah, just
Oh, you guys.
Just be happy.
Hey, you know what?
Thanksgiving.
Right,
Be thankful.
uh-huh.
You know what? I just thought of something.
I am.
I've invited Father Dan to stop in this morning, to hang out with us,
Cool.
a little bit. And I just thought of something. I'm being serious, okay? We got to get I'm being serious. I'll pay for it.
Father
We have
said
to get a crucifix and a Jesus poster.
Okay.
We got to.
We should get a nun.
Because we believe in God in America. We can have Raquel Welch on that wall and Jesus on the other.
I also think it'll kind of take up too much space. It'll avoid putting other poster of hot chicks up.
Shame on you, Eric. I'm going to send you to confession.
Hey, we can get a little.
Now, who else do we have in today?
Well, we got one for Garrett.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Tommy Boy posters in.
Boy,
Yeah, baby.
For all you women out there,
Doobie poster
he's actually cuter than Tommy Boy.
that are swooning. Did you just call me cute today?
Oh my God!
Boy.
We have our
Boy.
first crush. Our first show crush.
Crushes and girls.
Get a hold of HR right now.
Oh, it's more serious than a crush.
We have
Get a hold
women
of
out there
HR.
that need to.
Hey, we have a non-fraternization policy in Bulldog.
HR.
Actually,
Get
no,
HR.
we don't really. You
It's
do it.
more like
hey,
my
hey,
son
Actually,
kind of thing.
we don't have
It's
the policy.
okay.
Y'all can do
It's
whatever
cool.
you want.
Talk with
HR.
my people, Denise.
Yeah, it's okay.
Here's some
Little's
fun.
too young, Gary.
Here's some fun Thanksgiving facts.
You're
Thomas
too old.
Jefferson thought the good retort. Concept of Thanksgiving was the most ridiculous idea he's ever heard of. Hey, Thomas Jefferson, who asked you?
Jack Wagon.
Let's Jack waking up Thomas
Yeah,
Jefferson this
Jack
morning
Wagon.
for not liking Thanksgiving.
What a moron.
Each year, the average American eats somewhere. I'll bet you we're the only show in the country that's got the guts to Jack waking up old TJ. Each year, the
All
average.
people morons
Each year,
constantly.
the average American eats somewhere between 16 and 18 pounds of turkey. Let's Oracle status turkey.
Where's our gobbler? Where's our gobbler? We have turkey. We
By
have
the way, I think an average American male's got to have like 2,800 calories a day. Thanksgiving Day meal averages 4,500. Wow. Although Thanksgiving is what? 4,500.
I'm gonna put away 6,000 calories tomorrow.
Let me see, what else do we have? Turkeys will have 3,500 feathers at maturity. Hey, William, we don't care how many feathers they have.
God, can you
Fired,
imagine having to
William.
block all those?
Hey, how about this? Male turkeys gobble and hens do not. They make a clucking noise. Typical men and women.
Do you know the difference?
All women of all species cluck. And we're,
I thought you just heard us like the
Bitch.
Charlie Brown stuff. That's what we need. We need the Charlie
Hey,
Brown.
don't you like to cluck women?
Thanksgiving, the wah 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 wah.
I want everybody to know that too, that we're supposed to be getting a report from Chuck Holbrook live from the middle of the Tuas Turkey Farm.
Get your ass down here, Chuck.
And we'll see what what's going to happen there. But we hope we get that report because it's very important to us. All right, go turn it on to pop culture. Fiona Apple has canceled her South American tour. God, because of her dying dog. God, a dog. Oh my God. Flaming Lips singer. Who the hell's Flaming Lips? Wayne Coyne accidentally packed a dead grenade in his carry-on. Yeah, everybody just accidentally packs a dead grenade. Lenny Kravitz, sources say he will play Marvin Gaye in an upcoming biopic. Elmo has left the building. Kevin Clash has resigned as the voice of Elmo due to allegations he fooled around with an underage boy. All right, 41-year-old Brandy Cochran. This is a former Price is Right model. That producers refused to reinstate her as a model when she returned on maternity leave.
So she got ugly after.
It got ugly after having a baby, maybe. I don't know. That woman's glow just wasn't, And Khloe Kardashian, one of the nitwits Kardashians, the FBI is investigating if the X Factor co-host received a letter from a suspicious white powder. It was cocaine, probably.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's just her daily shipment of cocaine.
In an upcoming interview, Oprah tells Justin Bieber, I think 25's too young, actually, I really do, about being married. Oprah's giving the old Beeb some advice.
You know what, Oprah? 74 is too old. You fat.
Calm down. Don't leave Oprah alone. Hey, I want to give Oprah Oracle status for not helping Barack Obama, but it didn't make any difference. What else do we have here? Fox is developing The Happy Tree, a TV comedy about a corporate attorney who quits his job and finds himself at the front of the marijuana legalization.
Is this your big TV show?
No, but I want to tell you this.
Is this the announcement?
Hey, that's already been kind of done. Weeds. NBC is set to win its first November sweeps in 9 years. Wow. Katie Couric, her talk show is #1 among freshman syndicated talk shows this season. I think it sucks. Dancing with the Stars results. Apollo Ono and Emmett Smith were eliminated. Wait a minute, they weren't together, were they?
No, I think they eliminated.
He's
I'm
a
not
speed
watching
skater.
it, so I'm surprised. I know. I mean, he won
Olympics.
a while ago. Yeah, but
All right.
he won Dancing with the
This
Stars
is-
a while ago.
Dancing with the Stars, like
Superstars.
Superstars. No, I liked him though.
When we come back, we're going to have some local news, and I just want to tell everybody, if you've seen the movie, and this is a great movie, Almost Famous, where this kid, goes out on the road with this band, and there's a scene in the movie where they all sing this song together on an airplane. And I think of that scene every time. This is a great, great song. Elton John, Tiny Dancer from the Sprite Collection on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. Let's go to Denise Johnson, the blonde-haired lady to my left, who gives traffic superbity reports.
That's it. It's superbity. Okay, still dealing with.
You
an
cannot use
accident.
that word without my permission. It's trademark. Go ahead.
I guess deducted from my pay. Did you hear that, Bill Sprott?
I would have to pay you for 6 years for the value of that.
Liberty at Reading, there's an accident there. And also still dealing with the road closure in Waynesville, and that is Harveysburg Road north of Levacy. That is closed due to an accident. Starting to pick up northbound 7175 Dixie to the bridge, but other than that, looking pretty good out there.
We like looking pretty good. Fleming County authorities say 15-year-old Ricky Dean Hamilton was found by helicopter that spotted his body. He allegedly fell from a cliff onto a rock quarry, and he is deceased. God love Ricky Dean. Wow. Hamilton County, 81 voters tried to cast more than one ballot on November 6th, either by going to 2 different polling stations or by voting on the 6th with a provisional ballot. Olivia Ballou. Oh, wow. She was initially said she would not be sworn in, but she won the coin toss and she decided to do it.
Well,
She's going to be sworn in on December 10th. This is Kenny Brown.
Could you imagine?
we're supposed to
flipping
talk
a
to him at
freaking
8.
coin?
Here it is.
Unbelievable.
All because Robert McDonald's wife didn't get to the polls because of work.
But she wasn't going to do it.
I thought she was moving out of town.
Right.
Yeah, she said she wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we're
but
going to
now
talk
she
to.
is apparently.
Well,
And by the way, Phil Turzop, the mayor that was arrested, and by the way, I know Phil, and I actually went over to his house on Sunday and left him a note. Nobody was answered. I mean, I'd like to help the guy out. I'm assuming he's got a lawyer by now. I was going to represent him for free because I know Phil. He's a good guy. And he says he's not going to step down as mayor. He's gotten canned as a water district general. I mean, I like Phil Turzop. He's a good guy, but he made a mistake. But anyway,
Kenny Brown,
so
we're going to
so
talk to him at 8.
So
This
Kenny's
guy
calling in.
lost the
Yeah, we're
coin
gonna talk
flip.
How do you like that though? I mean, City of Walton, their mayor gets arrested, and then you've got the coin toss. This was on Fox News.
Wow. What?
Celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain, he says of our chili, He goes, it can be enjoyable when stoned. Well, that's when you eat it, Jack Wagon, at 2 o'clock in the morning. But seriously, chili with cinnamon on overcooked pasta. I'm going to tell you right now, celebrity
Hey,
chef.
Bourdain!
I
Jack
wouldn't touch
Wagon,
that.
your butt up. How did William miss that,
Pass
Jack
that
Wagon?
up.
Hey, what do you like more, Skyline or Gold Star?
Skyline.
It used to be Gold Star, but now it's Skyline.
See,
Didn't
I'm
we just have
the
this
opposite.
conversation? I like Gold Star.
I'm, at least as far as counties go, Gold Star's better. But like Dixie chili down there on Monmouth, oh, that's some good chili.
Good chili.
That's some
Good
good chili.
Head Start directors say no Head Start child was involved when 23-year-old Justin Harville, an employee since 2008, was arrested on 1 count of sexual abuse with a victim under 12 and sodomy events. I had a conversation with Denise about lining up guests, in the local news. Denise, we do not want to interview Justin Harville, okay?
All right, I'll make a note of that.
20-year-old Brittany
I'll let
Ison
you.
will spend 2 years under, you, me, and Jake and Wiz will whopping. House arrest on top of the probation for hitting the motorcycle of an alleged drunk driver, 39-year-old Jason Claypool. Not good. We got a little clip from that. God love her. That sounds sincere to me. Doesn't it?
Wait a minute.
That sounds very sincere. Man, if I was
The
a
guy on the bike was drunk,
yeah, but she hit him.
and she wasn't drunk.
Right. But that is a sad.
She
She
fled.
fled the scene. That's a sad situation. I feel sorry for her. It makes a difference when there's sincere remorse.
I mean, it's just.
If I was a
it's
judge,
an honest,
if I was a judge and I listened to that, that would affect me.
It was a tragedy, but it's an honest mistake. I mean,
Right.
why leave unless you.
There, but the grace of God. All right, former UC President Greg Williams. Can we Jack Wagon him up?
Who, Greg Williams?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. He's a former. Actually, yeah, we can.
He's going to be paid $555,000 over the next 2 years for quote unquote consulting. What makes me mad is that they have not revealed what's really going on and why they canned his butt. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot more to this
Yeah.
that hasn't come out.
Oh, of course there is.
And I have some personal information on a case which I signed a confidentiality agreement that I can't talk about. But this guy right here, there's something smells about this.
Who, Greg Williams?
UC
Have you ever
will be better. Oh,
seen him?
hey,
I think I like Santana. They're
yeah.
new.
Hey, hey, did you see the news last night, Gary?
No.
Sports news, Channel 19.
No.
Just talking about UK.
Oh, those jackwagons. UK is.
UK's gonna steal your coach.
What did we bet?
They're gonna steal your coach.
What did we bet on? The football, the Butch Jones thing. Nah, they can have him.
Yeah. Well, all I know is this.
No, going back to Greg Williams, I was just about to
What?
ask you. Have you ever seen the guy?
You got it. You got our song ready to go, buddy.
Yeah, I'm getting it right now.
Do you know how long it is? You got know? All right. When we come back, ladies and well, first of all, we got to announce this local. This is important. The 102nd Thanksgiving Day race this weekend, Thanksgiving Day morning. Registration available from 7 to 9 a.m. The 10K run walk begins and finishes at Paul Brown Stadium. The information is in my newsletter, and it's all around all the other sites and websites in the tri-state. The race begins at 9. It ends when you finish. The cost is $40. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, I'm going to go down there and knock that thing out in no time at all. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
How long can you run 10K?
I'm
6.2.
Nah, I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm no 4-minute miler. You know what? I'll do that. I'll do like 10-minute miles.
Okay, you won't believe this. I ran the Flying Pig my senior in high school, 6.2 miles. My 2 goals, under an hour and finish and never stop running.
Wow.
54 big ones.
Good for you.
When was this?
Hours?
Record.
Oh, I was
Ran
gonna get
speed
50,
hours.
54 hours.
Hours.
Supposed to know?
Oh, that's real funny, Zimmerman. It's 54 minutes.
Ladies,
FYI.
ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, this is from the Spry collection. It's chosen by Garrett. We come back, more Radio Superbity on Class X Radio. I need to find a yellow highlighter. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I tell you right now, folks,
We're rocking.
we're rocking this morning. We're rocking, we're rolling. In sport news, we already announced this actually, but the 30-year-old Danica Patrick is divorcing her husband of 7 years, Paul Hospenthal, who is 17 years older than the NASCAR driver. Well, come on, man. They got things that can deal with that stuff.
God.
We also talked about this. Hector Macho Camacho, the former boxing champion, is critical condition for being shot multiple times in Puerto Rico.
I'll be honest, as a sports fan, I had no idea. I woke up and saw that, and I'm like, who the hell is that? I thought it was some wrestle.
No. Come on. Rutgers officially joined the Big Ten yesterday. Good riddance.
Go to Maryland.
New York Yankees. Hiroki Corrado has agreed to a $15 million one-year contract.
Hiroki Kuroda.
Corrado.
Hiraki Kurata.
NBA scores. New York
I like that
102, New
better.
Orleans 80. Lakers beat Brooklyn 95-90 in D'Antonio's debut.
What's it again?
NCAA basketball scores. Indiana 82, Georgetown 72, Cincinnati 91, Campbell Soup 72, Ohio 75, Hampton 67. Kashmir Wright, career high 26 points in the Bearcat victory.
How about Butler over North Carolina?
Wow.
That's huge.
I love when Carolina loses. NCAA football, Toledo 35, Akron 23. Today's basketball schedule includes Morehead State at number 8 Kentucky at 7 p.m.
Can I tell you, I used to
Who?
work at the funny story about Morehead. I used to work at the school paper at UC, writing for the sports section. I was the editor, so I got to choose the headlines. And one time, Morehead had a big lead on UC, and then so our headline was Morehead blows lately. Full sexual innuendo in the college newspaper headline.
Disgusting.
Morehead blows lately. What was another thing?
We're a family show.
So,
All right, Thanksgiving Day NFL schedule. Houston at Detroit, 12:30 at CBS. That's going to be a good game. Washington at, how do you beat the Indians versus the Cowboys? Of course, I'm a white male, so I'm for the Cowboys.
That's funny.
4:15 p.m. on Fox. New England at the Jets, NBC 8:20. By the way, they did it on NBC instead of NFL Network. That's interesting.
oh, so all the
New
games
England
are on
Jets.
national TV.
All national
Okay,
TV.
good.
And there's an NCAA football game on ESPN at 7:30. TCU at number 16, Texas. But everybody will be watching the NFL. And that's just sports for you. Your sports.
Back to New York.
All right, moving right along. Hey, by the way, we got Les Nessman ready. We might as well do that now. We got to do this. It's a tradition. You know, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, WKRP's Les Nessman Thanksgiving. Every time I've done a Thanksgiving show, I've done my Les Nessman. We have to do Les Nessman. So
That's
here we
a
go.
funny one, though.
Les Nessman.
We should do this. You should do this, Bulldog.
Yeah. Throw frozen turkeys out of a helicopter. Oh, the humanity.
You know what? That show is so funny. I don't care whether you're from Cincinnati or not. And it had such a short run.
Right. It did?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I mean, they
I think it was 2 seasons, 3 tops.
Yeah, but it's still running. That's the thing.
I don't know. I feel like the only reason I know about that show, well, of course, I mean, when was that on? When did that air? 80s? 70s?
I don't know.
40s?
I don't know.
Yeah, 40.
I think the only reason I've ever heard of it
Yes.
is because of the radio connection.
You're a young man.
Yeah,
You're a young man.
40s.
I got a funny story to tell you. Last night I got a phone call, or I think it was a Facebook message, and somebody recommended me to somebody, and I was supposed to call them. And it's so funny because Chuck had to go someplace for me, and because I had to go home, the wife had a plan for me that I had to deal with, and I did not. I couldn't go. And then I don't want to violate attorney-client privilege. I can only just tell you that the name Ford was involved in where Chuck went, okay? The name Ford is where Chuck had to go. Chuck doesn't even know the story yet. He's listening. He's going to be dying laughing. So Chuck had to go to this place that the name Ford is involved, okay? So I get a phone call, and I'm supposed to call this person, so I call him back, and I am dead freaking tired. It is 7:15. And I'm asked to drive down to Falmouth, Pendleton County, and I was car sick driving down the old curvy Madison Road. And I swear to goodness, the name of this guy is Ford, and he got ran over by a Ford. And I said, do I got permission? We were laughing, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm in their living room, okay? And they made a joke. They said, we were gonna tell you since you were coming to bring pizza. And I said, that's funny that you asked. There's a Snappy in town. They go, we know. I said, let me take care of this. So I called up Snappy and I said, who owns this Snappy? Is Tim Garrett still our franchisee? He goes, no, it's Brad Faulkner. I said, well, you tell him the Bulldog needs some pizza brought over to this place. I was having fun with this guy. They didn't get the hint. I actually had to pay for the pizza. Like, hello, knock, knock. So, in fact, I told him, I said, you tell him next time Brad ought to suck up to me. So anyway, we were laughing. I said, this is hilarious. I said, my buddy had to go Ford, and here, your name is Ford, and you got ran over by a Ford, and they said, yep, he's built Ford tough. Is that not weird? That was so weird, man. That is irony, baby.
At its finest.
There you go.
So anyway, I got a new client. I tell you right now, it was so fun. Fun. But I got car sick driving down old Madison Pike. That was not good. Jake, how do you like the snacks that we picked out? Do you think Denise did a good job of buying her snacks?
I do.
I do too. Now, you know
Do I
what?
have Oracle status for that?
No.
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
I bet you they'll let me.
Okay, we'll give you Oracle status.
Oh,
Give me them back. Give them back. You guys
Denise,
can
do you
have them back.
realize?
I'm kidding.
There you go.
Do you know how absolutely she just walks into
Here,
them, man? It's so easy. It's almost too easy.
You're an easy target.
Now, before we get rolling again on some news items,
Depends.
remember the time that I took what was it that I took? I put in my eyes. What was it? I put something that
Super
was
glue.
Oh,
no, not God. Thank God it wasn't glue. It was burned like hell.
I remember what you did it a couple
Eardrops.
weeks ago.
Eardrops.
Yeah. I put
And-
eardrops in my eyes.
Right.
I mean, and it's like, oh my gosh, look, you're not gonna believe it. All right. When Whiskey got ran over by a car, they gave us this spray stuff, the spray stuff to put on her wounds, her road rash, I guess it's like an antibiotic spray. Well, my wife the other day, because my mouth gets dry from all the talking, she buys this spray that you spray in your mouth and it keeps your mouth wet, okay? True story. Don't ask me why. But she put the spray for the dog right next to the spray in my cabinet where I get my vitamins every morning. Went down there this morning, grabbed the spray, goes to the dog, open mouth, spray a shot of dog stuff into my mouth.
Are you kidding me?
And all of a sudden, after I sprayed, I'm looking at the bottle that I'm supposed to spray and go, oops, I'm spitting, I'm washing my mouth off.
Did it burn?
I left a note, if I die on the way to the radio program, this is why.
Oh my gosh.
What did it taste like?
No, it tasted like medicine, I can tell you
Okay,
that.
but it didn't taste like. I mean, it didn't burn your mouth or anything.
What a dumbass, man. I put stuff where it doesn't belong.
Probably that new skin.
Second time, I put eardrops in my eyes, I put dog spray in my mouth.
Do we call Mary and talk to her about
Read
this?
these things.
Jeez.
Do you always have that problem?
No.
Okay.
Also, I want everybody to know that Nicole Howe's story is on Lifetime Channel. So if you're not going to be like Jake and Garen out there partying tonight, you're going to be like Denise, me, and Zimmerman home watching the UK basketball game. Well, no, Denise is going to be out too. Me and Zimmerman. We are going to
That's the
be
slump.
Where are
at 10 p.m. tonight on Lifetime Channel is the Nicole Howe story, and I'm in it because they interviewed me for an hour and a half, and this is going to be pretty cool. And I heard it is really, really good. So there you have it.
I was showing
10 p.m. Lifetime Channel.
We will be. We will record.
Thanks for distracting me.
We will record.
Well, you ready for the next song, Garrett? Garrett drops the ball once again. No, he's not. You're right. You're right.
Thank you.
I apologize. Bulldog
That's
Nation.
it.
Hey,
You're getting the jack.
by the way, Ryan suggested AC/DC. And he also, George Thorogood. And you know what? We'll dedicate this to our buddy Willie, right? Because everybody,
course.
if you love Willie, you love the dog.
What a great intro. I mean,
It's a
you
great
talk
intro.
about the
By the
best
way, he
intro on
copied it. He
radio.
copied off the first talk show host guy. He used Bad to
Oh,
Bone.
really?
Yeah, I forget his name, but he was like, he had
Well, never
he
mind,
started talk
Willie.
radio. So Willie stole it, but it's still great. Bad to the Bone on Class X Radio. Hey, you know, Bad to the Bone, Bulldog, Bone. See, there's a connection.
There you go.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I think I'm the only talk show host in the country that practices law at breaks.
That you know.
drafting, reading, calling, texting. All right, how about a traffic report there, Denise? I hope everything's going well out there on the roads, because when they have accidents, they want to call me, and I don't want to get cases from people's ill will and misfortunes.
Well, we had the road closure in Waynesville, and that was due to an accident that did leave one person dead there this morning. So that was a single car crash. That was Harveysburg Road. It's still closed north of Levacy Road, so you might want to avoid that. They're still doing the investigation. An accident at Liberty and Reading, and on River Road between Dart and Bender. Now, northbound 71, 75. The traffic is picking up. There you go, yes. I can do the Charlie Brown's mom's voice without that. Wah, 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 wah.
What talent? What talent?
Wah, wah.
Tremendous.
I see
thing to
national.
hang
I am
your
so
hat on.
good.
I see-
So good.
I see some national prominence here. I really do see it.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, do we got any Saturday Night Live Thanksgiving
Yes,
skits?
we do.
Do we? We got some Saturday Night Live. You got them in there, Garrett? You got them
Yes,
ready?
Yes. What do you
Because-
want
I don't know. Just give me Saturday Night Live skit. There's got to be something good from Saturday Night Live. By the way, consistency. We're supposed to do a Saturday Night Live skit every show. We have not been doing that this week. Executive
We are.
producer.
We are.
Yeah, here we go. Nothing like the in-laws. I got great in-laws. Who picked this and thought it was funny? We'll kill this.
Jake.
Jake, you're fired. You're going to London for 2 weeks.
It's on SNL.
You can reapply.
I
You
don't
can
know if
reapply.
you get
Hey,
Gordon Williams said
I
that.
have asked for the Adam Sandler, screw Thanksgiving. I have asked for the Adam Sandler when he breaks up with Debbie and he calls and hangs up on her and all that.
Oh,
I've asked for
yeah.
one of those skits for weeks, Jake.
That's a good one.
For weeks.
We don't have that one right, but what about Adam Sandler's Thanksgiving song?
That's a Christmas song. You get a
No,
Thanksgiving
he's got
song
a
too?
Thanksgiving song.
Well, let's find the Adam Sandler Thanksgiving song.
Well, that's what this is.
There we go. You know, he got trashed about his movies being kind of like mindless. I love his movies.
Mm-hmm.
So funny. You know, my wife and I have had this conversation before. We grew up. You didn't eat turkey. You had bologna and cold cuts. We never ate turkey for lunch. It's amazing how in the last 25 years, turkey's become, you know, a
Normal
big,
lunch,
every
yeah.
normal meal. But growing up, I only ate turkey at Thanksgiving. That was just maybe our thing. I don't know. All right, 2 suicide bombers wearing military uniforms tried to gain access to a U.S. base in Kabul. Crazy. And how about what's going on with the Gaza Strip? Israel, it's heating up. There was a bus explosion in Israel. I'm telling you, Israel's going to wipe them up.
I agree.
Hillary's going over there to work towards peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
She'll be in pieces.
Listen, our hearts break for the loss of every civilian Israeli. The freaking Hamas starts this and starts shooting missiles in Israel. This isn't a situation where we have to be nice to both parties. No. Israel's right, the Hamas are wrong. Hamas. How do you be called a Hamas? Thank God we're called white guys. How do you be called a Hamas? Penn State removed the Elmo photo from their Flickr feed. They apparently had that. Hey, God. Jill Kelly's, Mr. Tampa socialite, her sister hired Gloria Allred. I got to ask a question. Why? You don't got a case. It cracks me up how people without any case at all hire Gloria Allred. For what? I can't stand Gloria Allred. Cannot stand her. Central Intelligence Agency closed its Center on Climate Change and National Security. Thank God. Oh, by the way, Barack Obama will pardon a turkey today. What a stupid
When are you going to
tradition.
go hunting for a turkey?
I go tomorrow morning.
Tradition, but did you hear that PETA wants to ban that? They asked the president not to
PETA
pardon
sucks.
the turkeys.
PETA sucks.
Why?
PETA sucks.
Why? Why would they?
Because they feel like it's just mocking the brutal slaying of millions of turkeys or some crap.
According to the UK law firm Gately, 70% of divorces occur because spouses fail to agree on monthly budgets and division of household responsibilities. Well, that's easy. I'll just do what I do. You say, you clean the house, take care of the kids, cook the meals, wash the clothes. I'll go out and work. You take care of the kids. When I come home, you do your duties, and we get along fine. Ladies and gentlemen, American jury, that was just completely made up. I have never done that or had the luxury of that. And if my wife is listening, I'm probably in trouble.
Black fingernail toenails.
Yeah. What else do we have? Voting 6-5 in favor of the ban, San Francisco prohibited exposed genitals on street sidewalks and public transit. So you can go boobless? I mean, you can go topless? That is goofy. Why is that even necessary in the first place? Don't get it all.
In favor of the ban, so they can't do it, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Is that what all those people were
I
taking
think
their clothes off?
yeah,
for?
when that came down yesterday in San Francisco, a bunch of people stripped.
I was going to say, I
naked
saw
right
that
there.
on the TVs over
Denise
there.
was one of them.
I want to tell you, this investigation into who took out from the talking points of the CIA that it was Al-Qaeda, I am getting so pissed off that they keep talking about, like the latest thing is, the White House says it was taken out, or no, Clapper testified yesterday that it was taken out, but it was taken out from somebody not with intelligence. Well, why don't they just freaking say who took it out? Okay, why can't somebody say Bob Jones took that out, Nancy Smith took that out? Why do they keep dancing around this? They're spending all this freaking money. Why can't somebody say, give me the name of the person who took it out? I get fired up. I don't want to ruin your Thanksgiving Eve, but I just get fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, for your listening pleasure, this is Gray Omen, Midnight Rider, on Class X Radio. I hope everything out there at Traffic Land is still going well. What do we have?
Well, it's much better. You know what? Traffic is just really light. I mean, the heaviest traffic we have is, or the slowest traffic, I should say, is 7175 heading northbound Dixie to the bridge. But other than that, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of problems looking at the cameras. Accident, Fairfield. At Fairfax, it's actually Fairfax east of Fairfield. So Liberty at 42, which is Running Road, they're still cleaning that up. And then on River Road between Dart and Bender, and also that should be in the cleanup stages as well. Back to you.
All right, Representative Alan West has conceded his election in Florida to Representative-elect Patrick Murphy. Rand Paul hasn't ruled out a 2016 run for the presidency, told ABC News, I'm not going to deny that I'm interested. You know what? I think I'd have to support him. I like him, know him personally. My dad's had fundraisers at our house where he's attended. Bernie Kunkel, his right-hand man in northern Kentucky. Heck, I mean, I'm too connected to this guy. That would be awesome if he was president. Iowa Governor Terry Branstad said the Iowa straw poll he thinks has outlived its usefulness. Newark, New Jersey Mayor Cory Booker says he'll live off food stamps for a week. He challenged he made with a Twitter follower. Obama's data collection, the Washington Post. While the Republicans play catch-up in the data world, the Democrats are using Obama's massive list of voter records, political donation histories, and personal data collections on voters to target for 2013. I do think that there's going to be a big difference in an all-year election in 2014 than Barack Obama at the top of the ticket. But, nevertheless, they are so far ahead. When Willie was telling me what Messina was talking about on C-SPAN last night, you know, it was pretty interesting. Richard Wolff slams GOP on a witch hunt against people of color. This cracks me up. Saying John McCain and others are attacking Susan Rice because she's black. You know what? Every time you attack, I mean, ridiculous. Federal postal workers, we already covered that. They don't want, listen to this. They should not balance the budget on the back of those dedicated to lives of public service. Jack Wiggins. Hostess, mediation between the company fell apart. Back to liquidation. Jeez. And then finally, China's going to build the tallest building in the world, and this is kind of scary. 220 stories, 2,749 building, called Sky City, 5 floors per day. It's going to be finished in 90 days. Are you freaking kidding me? I wonder how safe the hell that building's going to be. So we got rid of all the hard news so we can get back to having some fun on Thanksgiving Eve, as we call it. Now, Garrett, do you read Maxim Magazine?
No, look at the pictures though.
This is great. Maxim Magazine, What Guys Want. And, of course, there's no secret that I'm working on a website which, mimics some of the stuff in Maxim Magazine. I got my new copy today, or yesterday. I love this stuff. There is some great, funny stuff. You really can read the stories in this one. And, of course, because there's not nudity, you can read it on an airplane and not feel like a perv. Have you guys ever heard of Cat Dealey, the So You Think You Can Dance host? You know what? How do you get the name Cat? I mean, did your parents call you Cat?
That's not a real name.
Cat
Come on.
Stevens?
Don't you think stripper? I just write,
Yeah.
duh, Cat Stevens.
Yeah, but he's a guy.
Catman
that's a girl?
Struthers.
A girl that.
Yeah.
Cat Stevens is maybe the exception.
Well, Catman Struthers.
Catman Struthers?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would be short? I mean, what would that be short for?
Katrina.
Katrina. Or Catherine.
Well, for a guy.
A guy?
Catheter.
Yeah, I mean, what would cat be?
Catheter.
Caterpillar. No, I mean, what guy's name would you, how would you shorten that? You have Richard, and they
Yeah,
call
actually-
everybody Dick, but I don't get that one either.
Dick. Yeah, actually, you're probably right. It probably is more common for girls, I would think.
Right.
far
But
as I-
I mean, he just named off 2 men, so I'm kind of, what would that be short for?
I don't know, Denise. That's a good question.
Well,
every female name has like a male counterpart, and vice versa. Like Denise, Dennis, you'd be Dennis. I'm gonna start calling you Dennis.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Garrett doesn't.
All right, here are the Circus Maximus jokes from Maxim Magazines. Grandpa's dirty jokes. How did the hillbilly find his sister in the woods? Pretty hot. That is
oh
bad.
my God.
That is so
That's not even
bad.
That's so bad that's the only reason it's funny.
I don't
That's
get
not
that.
even he found her pretty hot in the woods. Like she looked hot in the woods. That's how the hillbilly saw his sister. That's just
That'll be on the
Sounds
NASCAR.
like
That'll be on the
something
NASCAR
just,
report.
just wrong, huh?
Oh
You
my
live in
What
God.
else we got?
Have you ever smelled mothballs? A little kid asked his dad. Of course, replied the dad. The kid pondered it for a minute and then said, well, how did you get their little legs apart? God. Mothballs. That is bad. Kind of bad funny. Why do cockroaches die on their back? See, this is the kind of information
That's important
that you can
information.
get. You know what I'm saying? You can get this kind of information from Maxim Magazine.
Okay, well answer it. Why do cockroaches
I don't
die on
care.
their
I
back?
don't care.
Oh, come on. We gotta.
It's in a
I don't
magazine.
care.
There has to be some relevance
To be honest
it.
with you, the article was a little too long. It was like a whole paragraph
I didn't wanna read
instead
it
of a
all.
one-liner. I didn't have time to read it. They give you tips on write a kick-ass poem. Now, here's what I like by Randy Couture. I like smiling faces and showering kisses. I like warm embraces and near misses. I like life on the edge and the smell of the rain. I like making a pledge that will always remain. Gosh darn, Randy Couture, grow a pair, man. That's a little too. Ugh. How to noodle a catfish? That's when you catch a catfish with your bare hands.
Yeah,
You learn.
that's weird. You ever seen
learn.
them do
yeah,
that?
yeah, you learn how to do that in here. You learn how to shoot wild turkeys with a 9mm. Chuck Holbrook wrote that column.
Why don't they just name this How to Be a Hillbilly?
And how about Brittany Palmer, Garrett? Would you take her to the school dance? Brittany Palmer?
She looks a lot like my ex-girlfriend, yeah.
Oh my God.
And
You know what?
Really?
I always got
Pull
these
her up.
ex-girlfriends.
Pull her up.
Why is she?
Facebook
Okay.
like you old people.
Why is she an ex-girlfriend?
I got sick of her.
You got sick of her?
Yeah, she's alright.
You got sick of her, huh? What'd you get sick of?
What could
When
you
they
get
just
sick
go-
of? If she looked like that, what could you possibly get sick of?
Well,
Just curious.
You know the reason why we're doing Maxim Magazine now? We got to do this before Father Dan comes in.
Oh, you ought to put that. You ought to somehow.
Oh, this is
Come on.
great.
Think of
This is great, man. Oh, we come back. we're going to cover, oh, good, this is good. Holes, jerk, and douche lords, whatever you call them. Here are 16 individuals from all corners of the earth who made 2012 a year that it needed to be. From politicians to musicians to over-eager elderly. Let's hope these hemorrhoids of humanity are wiped from our lives in 2013. When we come back, we'll go over those with you. And until then, we got, true story. Coming to Latin schools, my sophomore year, I won the sophomore poetry contest for reciting Casey the Bat. And the runner-up was Gary Beatrice, my good buddy, who did this. But Casey the Bat beat this. Just want you to know. This is Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody on Class X.
Class X, the new breed of rock.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. We're going to be calling Kenny Brown from the Boone County Clerk's Office about the big coin flip. We got him right now. All right, let's go straight to Kenny Brown then. Well, Kenny, give us a full report from out there in Walton and Boone County on what happened at the big coin flip to determine who was going to be on Walton City Council. Doing great, buddy. You made national news.
Gary, what am I hearing? It's low. Can you hear it?
Wow.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that I knew that was the issue is like she didn't want to serve, and then McDonald's wife was the one person that didn't vote, and now you got the mayor and Phil, and I know you have to know Phil. I like Phil. I don't know what that's all about. He said he's not going to, but all this attention on one little town city council is kind of crazy. Which it's a sympathetic. Yeah.
Kenny, let me ask you something. Why wouldn't they just do, so this is Garrett, why wouldn't they do something like a simple revote or something? It seems a little more fair. I would think that after something like that happened, that it would actually drum up a lot more publicity for the actual council spot that's being voted on, and actually more people might show up. Maybe something online, or I mean, I don't know how you would do it, but something other than just a random
Why couldn't-
50-50 coin flip.
Why couldn't a woman go vote and make her, and then her final vote would be the choice? I mean, why didn't she vote anyway? It was a president.
And it's my understanding that if Olivia did not want to serve, McDonald just couldn't automatically take that seat if she won the election or won the coin toss. So that's kind of an oddity too, isn't it? Yeah, it's true. Well, Kenny, thanks. You keep up the good work out there in Boone County, all right, buddy? There you go, Kenny. Good job, man. And how about Rand Paul's going to be president in 2016? See you, buddy. All right, there's Kenny Brown from the Boone County Clerk's Office, the coin toss.
Crazy story.
It is.
How about
And
a
it just seems
traffic
like
report?
One thing after another with them. Have the accident still at Fairfax, east of Fairfield, that we're still dealing with, and River Road between Dart and Bender. The rest of the problems have been cleared up, so traffic actually very light. Expected to be that way pretty much all day till about 4 o'clock, and then it'll bunch up on the roads and be a Thanksgiving nightmare. Everybody's got to get over the river and through the woods at grandmother's house. I mean, it's one night. They got to be there for one day.
Christmas.
No.
All right. Here are the what they refer to Maxim magazines in a very derogatory way. People we could do without for 2012. Costa Concordia captain Francisco Cicchino. He's the guy that left the ship.
Yeah, he's a jackwagon.
Yeah, these are jackwagons of the year. Vladimir Putin. Tan Mom Patricia Krenzel. Is it Gotti? G-O-T-Y? Somebody I used to know. That voice is
Oh,
annoying.
Godier.
Godier.
That was-
Jerry
that's
Sandusky.
wrong.
Jerry Sandusky. Chris Brown. Cecilia Gimenez. Spanish church lady ruined Jesus trying to restore it. Oh my God. Yeah, throw her away. E.L. James. What the heck is this? Oh, 50 Shades of Grey author. Robert Kennedy Jr. At the funeral of his estranged wife who had hanged herself, Kennedy comforted mourners by making it clear that it wasn't his fault.
Jeez.
Snooki's baby daddy.
What?
Ahmadinejad. Roger Goodell. The makers of that movie that made the world blow up. No, how about, no, I won't think so. How about Obama's administration? Lance Armstrong. You know what? I think Maxim Magazine could have done a lot better picking those jackwagons. Don't you
I
think?
don't know. I thought there were. I mean, I don't know who else I would pick. I'm sure there's somebody out
I
there.
think I'd
would,
turn to
but
Bulldog Max for the real story.
You know,
All those were.
I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, on the Spry collection, he had a Simon Garfunkel, but we substituted it. And this is our Simon and Garfunkel collection from the Bulldog collection, The Boxer. Great song, Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Denise, before I get rolling here, why don't you let the ladies and gentlemen, the American jury, know what's going on out there in traffic. We hate the interruption of our show, but as you know, Bill Spry makes us do this, so go ahead.
It's just terrible. Okay, an accident with injuries, Madison Pike just north of Orphanage Road. Also Fairfax just east of Fairfield. That one should be in the cleanup stages as well as the one on River Road between Dart and Bender. The rest of the traffic looking pretty good, at least when I was looking at all the cameras. 71, 75, maybe a little slow there from Kyle's to the bridge.
All right. I had a very original, nice story about, or not a story, editorial, about the golden goose and killing the golden goose. Well, guess what? Great minds think alike. Yesterday, 2 weeks after I did, GOP USA reports that Thomas Sowell, the great black conservative writer, told the story about killing the golden goose as it related to unions and Twinkies. So how do you like that? Joining us in the studio right now is none other than a baseball idol. This guy was just one level below Tracy Jones.
Oh, jeez. Now, don't get me started on that. Do not get me started on that.
Joining us is Joe Price, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds, and I understand now, Joe, you're in the real estate business, right?
Yes, sir.
First of all, let's talk about something serious. Tracy Jones. Have you ever heard of a bigger hack on the radio than Tracy Jones?
You know, honestly, I have not. I had the unfortunate position of being on two different teams that Tracy was on, the Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants. And
Oh my
honestly,
God,
yeah,
both teams.
Tracy played the same position on both teams.
The bench.
Yes, sir.
But he wanted to play good. He wanted to hustle for Pete.
Seriously, what was he like as a guy? I mean, was he?
You know, he was a lot quieter.
Really?
Yeah, had a very defined personality, but was much quieter.
He really is quiet.
I would have thought he was like the team clown.
Why Tracy Jones chose to decide I'm going to be the jerk at Cincinnati radio. I never
I
understand.
You know what?
But it's funny stuff, man.
Oh, it's
It
hilarious.
is funny stuff.
I didn't know that's who it was, and when you guys until just now.
Who, Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
That's because women don't listen to talk radio.
That's it.
You're like, but
I
anyway,
just listen to you every day.
Joe, I gotta ask you because I mentioned to Denise about having somebody in here. The real estate situation, both across the country and particularly in the tri-state, the values of homes and real estate have gone up. And in addition to that, I know the sales are moving along. Judy Schlottman, who's my realtor from Sipsey Klein, she donated to our marathon.
She did.
But Judy, I know, says that things have picked up. Why don't you give the perspective of what's going on out there in the real estate market, and then I want to ask you about going forward. But what's going on out there, relative, and feel free to introduce what you do.
Actually, I'm a managing partner of Cutler Real Estate in Cincinnati. Before that, in the Cincinnati market, I was chief operating officer of a fairly large real estate company in town. I can't talk about them because of a non-compete that's
Right.
still in effect.
I understand.
But
It's like me. I can't talk about my secret dealings with the CIA when I was an undercover agent. Go ahead.
well, yeah, very similar. Anyway, this is it's a great group of folks. Cutler Real Estate's been in business since 1947 up in Northeast Ohio. The reason that we partnered with them, because the name Cutler doesn't really mean a lot in this market, is they are also partnered with a real estate technology company that provides, I feel, the consumer with information that they're not necessarily going to find anywhere else. So, you asked about the real estate market, and that's one of the things that I'm pretty much a data geek now. I went from baseball statistics to real estate statistics. Before that, I ran a couple of businesses out in California. So I think that it's the numbers, underneath the story that really tell what direction a business or an industry is heading. And real estate, yes, the numbers are up. They're up from a very dismal position a year ago. They were up a little bit last year from a very dismal position the year before. And I think that, honestly, right now we're living the new normal. There is almost 40% of the adult population that rents. That's going to remain the same for, I would say, probably 5 to 7 years. The reason being is, the reason that almost 40% of the adult population rents right now is you've gone through a 5-6 year cycle. You could call it a cleansing, but it's been extremely painful for a lot of people.
Very painful.
Yes, and so those folks who have gone through a short sale or a foreclosure are being forced to rent, and then you've got a demographic, the 24 to 30 year old demographic who has seen all this happen, and also a job market that's still hovering around 8% and could go either way. There's no real incentive for them to buy. So yes, sales are up. I almost chuckle every time I see an NAR statistic come out. NAR is in the business of selling homes, and it's great. They do a great job for the real estate industry. But there are numbers underneath that I think tell a much bigger, more accurate story.
Right. Well, it's just my personal opinion, and nobody talks about this in the national talk shows. Nobody talks about this anywhere, and it is what frustrates me so much about, when you look at some of the things that are going into place relative to the real estate transactions, how this presidential administration is doing all that they can to basically slow down the economy. And this is something that drives me nuts. Towards the end of this election, everybody was talking about how, things are starting to improve. Things are improving a little bit. Things are improving. And actually, when you look at some of the economics, the unemployment number, which is way higher than the 8, and the number of people on food stamps and so forth and so on, the reality is we're becoming a more divided country, not only politically, but economically. The people that are doing well are going to continue to do well, and the middle class slowly disappears through everything that's going on. But if the real estate sales are going up, and you got values going up, and things are starting to move again, what people don't think about, they never think about, is how much better it would even be than what it's doing if we did not have some of the policies of this administration that just slow it down. In other words, where our economy has improved despite of the anchor that's holding them down and dragging. And it makes me so angry how much better it could even be. For example, if Romney was elected, I predicted there was going to be an economics just boom as soon as he was elected. They wouldn't even wait till he was sworn in because everybody knew relief is coming. We only got a few minutes here. We got actually about a minute. In 1 minute, what do you foresee in the second Obama administration is going to slow down or speed up real estate?
Okay, first of all, in our office, I have to make sure that we're a political free zone in there. So
I understand.
But I would say
Just
that,
just matter of factly.
The administration is creating a bubble. The bubble being, we've had basically free money for the last 3 years, and they're saying it's going to last until 2014. So what incentive is somebody with a 3 or a 2.875% interest rate for 30 years, what's the incentive for them to go out and buy a new home? Yes, sales are going briskly now, but what you've done is the investors have come in and they're buying those $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 homes, raising the investment level up to $30,000 to $60,000, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You're still able to run positive cash flow on a rental, but that's what's being raised. Yes, you're not seeing those significant increases in value other than on the West Coast, East Coast.
All right, we come back, we'll talk to Joe Price some more. Until then, this is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Class X Radio, you can listen to us every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 88.9 in Cincinnati and 89.1 Northern Kentucky and Indiana. Listen live on ClassXRadio.com. Or you can call the studio at 513-201-8891 and also watch it streaming live on the BulldogNation.com. Also, if you want to email me at eric@ericdeters.com or text me at 859-250-2527 for any reason whatsoever. Second final traffic report.
Well, it'll be pretty easy. Madison and Orphanage, there's an accident, and southbound 71 at Pfeiffer on the left shoulder is just a broken down car. So stay to the right there. No other problems. How about that?
All right. Joe, you said you were a California boy. Do you live here now permanently, or do you go back and forth? And what are your Thanksgiving plans?
Actually, I live here permanently. I moved downtown a few months ago. Love it. Love being able to walk everywhere.
I could live downtown. I used to think I could because I was a country boy. But we do a lot of things in the city. And you know what? I could live downtown myself.
It's amazing what they're doing downtown. I really have to give the city and 3CDC a lot of credit. It's really cool to see the revitalization that's going on.
Are you looking forward to riding the streetcar?
No.
Now look, here's a guy who lives downtown. It's not going to drive the streetcar.
I just got to be honest.
You value your life, don't you?
Well,
be honest.
Honestly, I feel safe pretty much anywhere walking around downtown.
Except for over the Rhine. I mean, who wants to go from one part of the hood to the other part of the hood? The worst part in the city, and they're going to put a trolley down there.
Well, you know, I was born and raised in Southern California. My parents still live out there, most of my family. I go out and visit, but for Thanksgiving, Cutler is a big sponsor in the Thanksgiving Day race, so I'll be on the podium announcing a couple of folks.
I see. Now what about early tomorrow morning before the race? You look like a hunter. Would you like to go wild turkey hunting on my dad's farm?
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. He doesn't look. See, he looks like a hunter.
God, you hillbillies.
Where's our gunshot?
Honestly, it's very relaxing. When I was playing ball, I got into hunting.
He calls
and fishing,
everybody hillbillies.
and really found it very relaxing to get out away from everything and still enjoy it when I can.
Yeah. What else are you doing besides the real estate? One thing I love about Castellini and their ownership group is they sure have. It seems to me. I participated in that poker tournament 2 years ago at the Reds Fest thing, but it seems like that they have really, really gathered up and brought in and made feel welcome. If you're a former Reds player, it looks like you guys have the run of the place, which I think is great and it's neat.
They have. It's been noticeably different. I participate in the Reds fantasy camp every year out in Arizona now.
You could still pitch, man. You're in good shape.
I feel really good. I feel I take better care of myself now than I did then. But that's a lot of fun. And the Castellinis and the Williams too have really done a nice job. I still talk with Dusty Baker, a few times a year. Great guy. I just think that Walt Jocketty was probably the best hire they've made in ages, and that's a very definitely a Castellini move. So I couldn't be happier with the way that organization is running.
All right. Well, Joe, thanks for coming in. You can come back anytime you like. We'll make you our designated Reds, California, hunting, fishing, and real estate expert.
Hunting?
Perfect.
Really?
Perfect.
Yeah, all those topics.
Perfect. I enjoyed my time here. Thanks a lot, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. The best holiday of all time is Thanksgiving because it's 4 days. We get to watch football, we get to eat, we get to sleep, and there's no present pressure.
I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm just gonna sit on
You
my
can't wait
ass,
for the shrimp
watch
cocktail.
every football game.
You like football, Joe? You're a baseball player.
No,
Like football?
I like watching football.
It's
What do you like,
amazing.
the NFL or
I'm-
your team?
Well, I grew up in San Diego, so I really like the Chargers if I was going to say one football team.
What do you think of Philip
Do you-
Rivers?
Do you,
You know, great talent, but I don't know what's happened lately. I really
Hey,
don't.
I got
Worth Turner
Oklahoma.
gone after this year?
I saw a special where in college football, this is old news, the college football programs like Michigan, the money that's made on football pays for everything
Oh, yeah.
else. I mean, football's driving force.
I mean, you
all right,
think
thanks for
like,
coming in,
like
Joe.
All right,
a UC,
thank
a
you,
cross-country
guys.
team
Right.
has to travel all the way. You think they're making any money to pay for that?
This is from the Spry Collection Cutting Crew. I just died in your arms last night. We come back. Father Dan's in the house on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. I just want everybody to know, I want you to have a wonderful, safe, grateful Thanksgiving. Sir William Wallace and I have decided to take Thursday and Friday off, not only from the radio station, but also the newsletter, because we will be eating, footballing, sleeping, shopping, and God knows what else. And we know you won't give two hoots about what the hell's going on. But we'll be back on Saturday with the newsletter and Monday on the radio to save the country. And we'll do our best. And I just want to tell everybody that I love and I'm grateful for God, country, family, my partners, staff, clients, friends, fans, radio crew, Bulldog Nation, Class X Radio. You're not so humble. This is what I wrote in my newsletter.
Me?
You're not so humble or obedient servant, but always loyal and ready supreme commander. Now, joining us right now is Father Dan Francis, and it would be a shame if we did not, for at least part of our show today, tell the true meaning of Thanksgiving, a little history about Thanksgiving, and we've asked Father Dan to do that. Father Dan Francis from Latonia Baptist Church and StayAtTheRoom.com. The microphone, Father Dan, is yours.
Well, hang in here with me. It's about a 3-4 minute meditation, but I think it's worth hearing again. It must have been the most horrifying experience of their lives. Though they were slightly more than 100 people aboard the Mayflower, only 54 were from the band of separatists who had lived in Holland in the previous 12 years to escape persecution in England. They were farmers, sheep herders, and for the most part,
No lawyers.
that's exactly right. Though some might have been craftsmen of one trade or another, but never had they been on a high seas. And it must have seemed as though the very demons of hell were loosed upon them during the fall of 1620. The storms of the North Atlantic were so fierce, the ship so tossed that the main mast often dipped into the waves. It was a disorienting, stomach-churning experience even for the experienced sailors among them. The small band of believers on board, men, women, an expectant mother, and small children among them, were kept in the 'tween deck for fear of the buffeting storms. Many were sick. Some wailed their agonies endlessly through the terrifying nights. The icy winds wailed with them. It was filthy, smelly, terrifying time of testing. The elements were not the only
Sable House's
opposition
bedroom.
these Christians, who soon would be called pilgrims, endured. There was one sailor who persisted in calling them psalm-singing puke stockings, which were the two things they
Jeez.
spent most of their time doing. Though the pilgrims forgave and prayed for the man's soul, he was mysteriously the only person to die during the voyage. For 66 days, the little ship, no longer than a modern volleyball court, made the treacherous voyage from England to the coast of Massachusetts, and when they arrived, what must their thoughts have been as they scanned the howling wilderness which was to be their home. William Bradford later called their governor and said, what would sustain them but the Spirit and the grace of God? But they perish they almost did. More than half of them died during the first winter, often called the starving time. At one point, each person's ration for a day was no more than 5 kernels of corn, a few ounces of water. Indian friends like Squanto Somerset taught the white men how to harvest the bay and the land, but the yield would not be sufficient until next year. So they buried their dead, prayed for the mercy of God. In the spring they planted, and soon after sensing that God had heard their prayers, the previous winter had been the worst of times, but the harvest looked bountiful. The settlement was growing, and God seemed to be smiling upon them. But the harvest was gathered Their leaders called for some men to go hunting in preparation for a great feast. Wildfowl, fish, venison, and gratefully prepared. They invited their Indian friends too, but they brought 5 freshly killed deer. The white women prepared hoe cakes, cornmeal pudding, and a variety of vegetables.
Hoe cakes.
Okay.
Ho-hos.
All right, while the Twinkies. And while the Indian women introduced delicacies made with blueberries, apples, and cherries, the most welcome new food the Indians brought with them, though, was a way of cooking corn in an earthen pot until it became white and fluffy. Popcorn. It was indeed a Thanksgiving, but not just for safety and abundance.
Where was the squash?
It was also a time to remember the words that they had penned on their purpose of the Mayflower. And that is, they came for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith, for propagating and advancing the gospel, and yea, though they should not have been even stepping stones unto others for the performing of so a great task. So they were, and we ought to remember them this Thanksgiving and take their mission to our hearts. Thanksgiving when it really was.
I missed a couple of parts. Can you read that?
Yeah, right.
I gotta ask.
You
You didn't absorb it, did you?
sit around the table and tell that at Thanksgiving.
When my reaction to that story is this: how far freaking this country has gone up and now down since that pilgrimage. I mean, for example, I don't know if you missed the first part of our show, but we've decided, Willie and I have decided, since white men are the minority party now, that we've decided that the best way to deal with it is just hunker down, make a living, carve out our spot, behave ourselves. Other minority groups have prospered in this country. I don't mind being a minority group. We'll just be fine. And we're going to start white men music awards. See, the white women are okay. See, they're part of the other crowd. It's just the white men. White men music awards, white men political caucus,
Garrett, let's
white
get ready.
men radio, white men movie. I mean, everything. And you're in this club. You are now a minority, Father Dan Francis.
Automatically. I didn't make the choice, but I found
I
myself
think
in
you've
it.
started a movement, Dogs. You're going to get Oracle status.
I am, as the founder of the Minority White Man Party.
Minority White Man Party.
The Minority White Man Party. Let me see. Minority White Man. The MWM. It rings well.
Sounds it.
MWM power. Now the Black Panthers do the fist, and the Nazis did the Heil. What are we going to come up with?
Chest bump.
Chest bump? No. That's too much activity.
a move.
We got to have a secret handshake, maybe?
A moon?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And what do you-
YMCA.
Father Dan Francis from stayintheroom.com, as well as Latonia Baptist Church. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving?
Do a lot what I've heard you talking about. Eat food, sit around, watch television, and try to stay under the radar from some of my relatives.
There you go, baby. Any final words from you, Denise?
You know what? No. I mean, as far as traffic goes, everything looking pretty good out there. Just look through all the cameras. But like I said, everybody needs to head out early. And, we're always thankful for our friends and family. And had fun here today. We had a good show today.
You got to get back in here on Thursdays, 8 to 9.
Glad
Start
to
that
do that.
routine again.
I'm back into it.
Any final words from you, Gary?
No.
Wiz?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
There
Happy
you
Thanksgiving,
go.
everybody. I want everybody to be safe. Please be safe. Listen, don't drink and drive if you go out tonight. It's not worth it. 859-250.
So what if you do?
Shameless.
Hey, let's hope the Cowboys beat the Redskins. And I know that sounds terrible, but let's face it, the Cowboys are the white man football team. So have a great Thanksgiving. I love you. This is George Harrison. What is life? I'm grateful for all of you.
We're out of control.
God bless America.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And we're